Hey everybody, I'm Dave, and today I'm going to talk about a subject near and dear to my heart, and that's financial freedom. So one thing I kind of always do is I take young people, nieces, nephews, things like that, and kind of teach them how money works, because one thing that schools don't really teach is how money works and how financial freedom occurs. You know, in school we're taught, go to school, get good grades, get a job, and make money, but then there's no training after that. So here's what I want to talk about today: financial freedom. So there's an old kind of saying that if you don't figure out a way to make money while you sleep, then you'll have to work until the day you die. So that sounds pretty scary for a lot of people. And when I tell like a young kid in college, it kind of freaks them out, right? But it's a lot less scary than you think it is. And there's a few ways that you can achieve financial freedom. And when I mean financial freedom, I mean freedom from, you know, working day to day just to pay the bills, freedom to go on vacation when you want, when you like, and freedom to work whether you want to or not, or freedom to like have a choice where if you're working a job that doesn't suit you, that you can leave that job and go somewhere else, or pursue entrepreneurship, whatever you want to do. But you need money to do that, and money isn't like, it isn't evil, it isn't the root of all evil. All this is an energy. That's why money is called currency. And the more currency you have, the more energy you have, the more freedom that you can have for yourself and your family. So financial freedom, earn while you sleep, or work until you die. So an old saying, you know, the rich get rich and the poor get poor, is a very true saying. And Jesus said it basically the same when he said, those who have, it shall be given, and those that have not, even what they have shall be taken away from them, i.e. the rich get rich, the poor get poor. Now why is that? That's because everything is just an energy in life, money included. Same with us, human bodies, things like that. Everything's got energy in it. So depending on how you use your energy is how it works for you. So case in point, you go in your room, you flip on a light switch, the light comes on, you're using energy in a positive, productive way. If you take a fork and stick it in the light socket, you're going to get zapped, and that's using energy in a negative way. So electricity isn't good or bad. It just depends on how you use it. Same with money. So money you can spend on two things. There's only two things you can ever buy in your whole life. It's an asset or liability. Most people don't realize this when they're spending money. So what is an asset? An asset is essentially something that puts money into your pocket. That's my little pocket right there. And a liability is something that takes money out of your pocket. So case in point, this Nike sweatshirt I have on, this is a liability. It was like 60 bucks. It took money out of my pocket and I got a sweatshirt. But it could be an asset if I then contacted Nike, got into a brand deal maybe, or some sort of advertising. Then this shirt, this $60 shirt, would be an asset because it's actually putting money in my pocket. So same thing, I'm just gonna do a rundown real quick on what you might think an asset and liability is. So one thing they're always told is our house is the biggest asset we'll ever have. And that's kind of a lie. So your house, if you're just got a 30-year mortgage, you're paying your mortgage, your rent, that's taking money out of your pocket every month. Your house is definitely not an asset. Your house at that point would be over here on the liability section. But if you bought a house and you're gonna rent it out or flip it, then yeah, that house would be an asset. So another thing, a big thing we have is, you know, we have cars. So there's my little car. So people think is a car an asset or a liability? Well, it all depends on how you use it. If you're just going out and getting a Tesla and you're making payments to get you back and forth to work, it's kind of an asset, it's taking you to work, but it's really a liability because it's not putting money in your pocket. Now, if you use that Tesla and you start Ubering in it, and then that Tesla then becomes a work vehicle that is actually putting money in your pocket, so that vehicle then becomes an asset. Now, along the lines of using assets for work, if you're an entrepreneur, which means essentially you're just kind of in business for yourself or with other people, you're not a W-2 employee like the normal standard. When you're an entrepreneur or a business owner, when you have these, you know, you buy a house to rent or you buy a car to Uber in, things like that, you can then use that vehicle or that home as, pardon my dog there, when you use these as assets, you can then do what's called expensing. So when I buy my Tesla as an asset to Uber in it, and I'm an entrepreneur, the fuel, the payment, the interest on the payment, all that becomes a tax write-off. And now if I made, say, $1,000, but I had 400 hours worth of expenses, I made $600 profit, and that's what I pay taxes on. Where a normal W-2 person can't do that. You know, they just go to work, get their paycheck, and then they buy their car, and then largely it's a liability. So a couple other things that you can do. So assets will put money in your pocket. A good asset will do that while you're sleeping. So one thing that you could buy stock, okay? So instead of buying this $60 Nike sweatshirt, I could have went on and bought $60 worth of Nike stock. Now what a stock will do is, stocks go kind of up and down, but hopefully in the long term, they go up. And that's a way you can make money while you're sleeping. A lot of stocks pay what's called dividends. So if you own, I don't particularly know Nike, I don't own their stock, but maybe Nike pays, say, a 2% dividend. So if I own one share of Nike, whatever that stock costs, every quarter, every 3 months, I'll get 2% dividend. So they'll pay me to own their stock. So that's one way you can make money while you sleep, is to own stock. You know, another way you can start a company, you can start a business, but a lot of that, you have to buy a lot of liabilities sometimes to do that. So this is more geared just towards people starting out, just to get an idea of, are we buying assets or are we buying liabilities? If we're taking our paycheck and we're just giving it to somebody else, we're buying liabilities, and we're gonna have to work till the day we're dead, because you have to constantly work because you're constantly spending your money. But if you take that money and you buy assets that actually put money in your pocket, if you buy enough assets, eventually there's enough money from other places coming into your pocket that you can quit your job, or you can take that vacation you want, things like that. So just a real quick video just to get you thinking. I'll make a few other of these, but this is geared more towards young people, high school students, people in college. You know, before you have a family and a lot of debt and a lot of, you know, things that a lot of people have, it's good to really think about assets and liabilities. And even if you're not a college student or a young person, you know, as an adult, you need to think about your assets and your liabilities. You know, what are you putting your money into? You work all week. Who are you giving that to? Are you giving that to an entity that's going to pay you then residual income? Or are you giving that to an entity that's just going to let you do free advertising for their products? So hope you guys enjoy this video. If you got any questions, leave them down in the comments. But assets versus liabilities, earn while you sleep, asset, or work until you die, liability. Thanks a lot. Wish you wealth, prosperity, and above all, health. Have a great day.